Our today's topic of discussion is the letter of credit. So, here are some of the highlights of this discussion presentation that I will discuss with you. What is the letter of credit and why we use the letter of credit while dealing in international businesses, and what are the use cases of the LC. In short, you say letter of credit as LC. So, what are the use cases for that? How the LC works, how the transactional processes of the LC they take place, what type of LCs are there, and a comparison between different type of the letter of credits. What are the pros and cons of which type of LC and which type we should use in which type of contract, and the latest UCP 600 version through which the letter of credit are governed. I will try to capture here this. A letter of credit is a guarantee which is given by the bank and which assures to the exporter that when he delivers the goods, he ship the goods and meet the certain conditions as described in the letter of credit and present document, so he will make payment. So here there is a guarantor between exporter and importer who is bank. So he takes a guarantee and it substitutes the issuing bank's credit for the buyer's credit. So whoever is selling the goods, he is having a surety that bank is there. So our payment is sure. The issuing bank pays only if the required shipping documents, that is bill of lading, invoice, etc., which you have mentioned in the LC documents, strictly comply with the LC condition. When the document presented by the exporters bank to importers bank, if they are okay as per LC terms, so the importers bank will make payment. If there is a deficiency in the document or discrepancy, so the importers bank is not liable to pay to the exporters bank. What he do, he ask with the importer that these are the discrepancy in the documents. If you wish, so you can make payment, otherwise give us instruction accordingly. Now it is up to the importer if the discrepancies are minor or not, such a considerable issue is there. So generally, in some cases, the buyer accepts the payment and bank releases the payment. They generally charge some discrepancies from the exporters bank. They do charge some charges from the exporters bank due to the discrepancy. But this condition you should clearly mention in the letter of credit that if there is any discrepancy from the exporters bank or exporter side, then the importers bank will take what charges. I will suggest you to define some charges. Otherwise, bank is free to take any charges and define also to whom the charges are debitable. This should be clearly mentioned in the LC documents. LCs are independent, autonomous of the underlying sales contract. Whatever the sales contract is there, so LC is having an independent entity. It is autonomous and bank honor the payment based upon the documents, not on the commercial sale agreement. So here you can see the details about LC in this slide, and I hope you will have a considerable idea, good idea what is LC. Let's move on the next slide. Why we use the letter of credit? There are certain points. One is risk mitigation, other is trust building, payment, and buyer's assurance. So, since both of the parties are sitting in different countries, so to reduce the risk to the medium level, actually both parties have medium risk. Buyer and seller both have medium risk in the LC. So, it is a 50-50 balance in the deciding mode of payment. So, when both parties are mitigating the risk, they use the LC, and LC make the trust between the buyer and seller because bank is involved therein. Since bank is involved, so trust building is there. and the exporter or exporter bank is also sure that they will get the payment when the documents as per LC they present and they are okay. And buyer's assurance. From buyer side also it is assurance that I have given the money to my bank and the seller he is assured about the money and which is lying with the bank and when he present the document as per LC he will get payment. So these elements are there and these are the reason why we use the LC. Here in this slide we will discuss the use cases of the LCs. So in cases of cross-border transactions, the letter of credit transactions are happen. Generally, within the countries, LC can be opened. Those are terms and inland LC. But here, that is a separate topic. I will discuss only with the cross-border transaction cases wherein the international inland international letter of credit is established. And when the shipment is having a high value, so then also the LC document is established through bank when contractual and regulatory requirement are there. So in those cases, the LC is established because in contract it is written that they will take payment as per the LC or in the LC mode. And in many industry, LC is a practice. So these are the use cases of the letter of credit. How LC take place? So I will explain you that when you enter into a contract of purchasing something from a foreign supplier, so you issue purchase order, the importer issue a purchase order to the exporter and they both agree to take the payment through the letter of credit and then buyers approaches to the buyer's bank, means importer's bank, and he gives money to the importer bank to open the LC. Generally, the LC terms conditions are agreed with the mutual consent of the importer and exporter. So, based upon those agreements of terms and condition, the letter of credit, money is given by the importer to importer's bank, and then importer's bank they open the letter of credit document, and they communicate this letter of credit to the exporter's bank, and exporter's bank communicate the same to the exporter. Then LC is established, and these are the details. So you ship the material, present the document within certain days, generally 20 days trend is there in presentation of the document. So after shipment within 21 days, they present the document bank to bank from the exporter's bank to importer's bank. And then the importer's bank check the documents, whether documents are as per the terms and condition written in LC and whatever document required therein. If the documents are okay, so importer's bank will release the payment without asking to the importer. And in between, what he does, he gives the delivery order while releasing the payment to the exporter. He gives the delivery order on the back side of the airway bill, and that airway bill is obtained by the importer, and he used that airway bill or delivery order while getting the consignment clear. So delivery order can be on the back of the airway bill and it can be a separate letter, whatever the practice adopted by the bank. So importer has to obtain this from importer's bank. Without this document, they cannot get the consignment clear from customs. The airline which is bringing the consignment, they will not give delivery to them. So this is the process that LC transaction take place. You can see here, I have explained you this also right now. So just see, read this. You can pause it and read it. Here now I will discuss with you what are the different type of letter of credit. There are many type of letter of credit. So we will go one by one. First we will discuss about the irrevocable letter of credit. Irrevocable letter of credit means is such a letter of credit that cannot be altered or cancelled without the agreement of all the parties. Means generally irrevocable LC is preferable, or most of the parties they work with the irrevocable LC. Once you open the LC, you cannot not take it back without the consent of importer, exporter, and bank. The bank's payment commitment is final once the LC is established. So this is the standard used while parties are dealing with the LC. Other is irrevocable LC. So this is very rarely used or less used. Uh, but this type of LC can be modified or cancelled unilaterally by issuing the bank without notice to the exporter. So in this LC, the importer can cancel the letter of credit without the consent of the exporter. So this is not a safe from the exporter point of view, but it is safe from the importer point of view. And irrevocable LC you cannot revoke without the consent of seller. So for seller, irrevocable LC is safer. Other is confirmed letter of credit. What is this? The exporter's bank adds its own guarantee of payment, giving the seller a double guarantee. So what happens here? Exporters banks adds their own guarantee. So seller is having a double assurance that both banks are giving guarantee of the payment. So it is much safer mode of the LC or LC type. Let us see what next. One is unconfirmed LC. What is this? Only the issuing bank guarantees payments. There is no additional confirmation bank guarantee. This is typical if the exporter fully trusts the issuing bank. So in this case, only importers bank is taking guarantee of the payment and exporter bank is not involved in the guarantee. So where this type of LC is open, when the exporter fully trusts the issuing bank, and there are bank charges also when the confirmed LC is there, so both banks take some charges. In case of unconfirmed LC, charges are comparatively less. I will suggest you to ask with your bank what are those charges in case of confirmation. So better to have idea about that, otherwise bank is free to charge anything to you. The next type we see as a standby letter of credit. It acts as a backup guarantee. The issuing bank pays the beneficiary only if the buyer fails to perform under the underlying contract. So in this case, bank's role starts when the buyers fail to make the payment. So it is a standby LC, it is a backup type of guarantee. So bank's guarantee acts as a backup here. So we can see it standby LC and use more as insurance than for routine payments. So this is all about standby LC. Other is transferable LC. In this case, it allows the original beneficiary, who is exporter, to transfer some or all of the credit to a secondary beneficiary. And where it is useful when intermediaries or sub-suppliers are involved. It means the beneficiary will certainly get some credit. So through this transferable LC, he can extend the credit to his sub-suppliers or intermediaries involved in the supply chain or his contractor. So these are the transferable LCs. Next is back-to-back LC. What it involves? It involves two linked LCs when a middleman is in the supply chain. The importer's LC secures a second LC issued by the middleman's bank to the actual supplier. So when some middleman is there, so he also take assurance from middleman's bank against the established LC. So here you can say although it is also a double assurance. So it is a back-to-back LC. And the next type we will see red clause LC. So what is this? It contains a clause allowing the buyer's bank to make advance payment, typically 20 to 25% of the credit to the seller before shipment. So in this case, before shipment, at approximately 20 to 25% payment is made by the buyer's bank to the seller. And where it is used when there is in, involvement of production or the seller wants some money in advance to produce the things. And next is green clause LC. So in this variant of the red clause LC, it provides a larger advances. In red clause LC, up to 25% advances are there, and in this case, green clause LC, 75 to 80% payment can be made in advance. So you can see that how unsafe this type of LC can be there. So use this case only in case you are very sure and have a best trust on the exporter or you're understanding long-term relationship. Only then you use it. Otherwise, I will not recommend it to use with the new suppliers about whom you don't know or you have never dealt earlier, because if you don't ship the material, so it may lose your money and you will find it difficult to get the money back. It is not so easy. You can get, but it is not so easy. Now, let us see a comparison between different type of LCs. Whatever LCs type I have told you right now, so here it is a brief comparison. You can see the LC type, what are its key feature, use case, and security or risk level. In case of irrevocable LC, it cannot be changed or cancelled without the consent of all parties. Standards under UCP 600. Security risk is high, strong commitment by issuing bank. Security is high. So it is a high security because bank is involved. Under revocable LCs, it can be amended or cancelled. So security is less here and it is risky for exporter. Under the confirmed LC, confirming bank, which is exporting bank, adds its own guarantee. So it is very high, double guarantee is there. And unconfirmed LCs, only issuing bank is responsible for payment. It is medium, depend upon the issuing bank credibility. Under the standby LC, it acts as a guarantee, pays only if the applicant defaults. It is also having a medium risk. And transferable LC, beneficiary can transfer all part or some part to the second beneficiary. It depends upon the terms. Back-to-back LC, two separate LC used by middleman to pay supplier. It is moderate risk involved. Red clause LC, high risk involved. Uh, you are paying 25%, so high risk is there. And in case of green clause LC, you can pay up to 75 to 80%. It is very high risky, large advance disbursed early. So use this very judiciously, the green clause LC. Here we will discuss about uniform customs and practices for documentary credits. So, what are these? Actually, these are established by the International Chamber of Commerce, and since the different importers and exporters of different countries they act, and from long time they are acting in international trade. So, International Chamber of Commerce made some certain rules. So, as on date, those rules are named UCP 600. So, this is the latest rule. And based upon these rules, the letter of credit is established. Whatever the letter of credits are established as on date, those all are established as per the rules of UCP 600. And what are these? These are uniform customs and practices for documentary credits. It is a set of internationally recognized rules established by the ICC, and it is well adopted by the importer exporter and well practiced by the international banks. So by this way, I hope you get a complete idea about the letter of credit payment term. What are its use cases, different type of LC, in which situation we will use what type of LC. So I hope you get a clear idea about this. Here we will discuss about uniform customs and practices for documentary credits. So what are these? Actually, these are established by the International Chamber of Commerce, and since the different importers and exporters of different countries they act, and from long time they are acting in international trade, so International Chamber of Commerce made some certain rules. So as on date those rules are named UCP 600. So this is the latest rule, and based upon this rule the letter of credit is established. Whatever the letter of credits are established as on date, those all are established as per the rules of UCP 600. And what are these? These are uniform customs and practices for documentary credits. It is a set of internationally recognized rules established by the ICC, and it is well adopted by the importer exporter and well practiced by the international banks. So by this way, I hope you get a complete idea about the letter of credit payment term. What are its use cases, different type of LC, in which situation we will use what type of LC. So I hope you get a clear idea about this.